The 2024 Lexus TX aims to address the issues of its predecessor, the RXL, which was poorly designed with a cramped third row and limited cargo space because it was not originally intended to be a three-row vehicle. The new TX is Lexus' attempt to correct these flaws and better meet customer demands for a proper three-row SUV. On the other hand, the GV80 marked the debut of Genesis' future styling direction, giving the brand its most potent identity yet. While it's not quite as zesty as some of its competitors, there is no denying that the 2025 Genesis GV80 is an exceptional luxury SUV in many other respects, which makes choosing between the two that much harder. Well, in this video we'll compare both cars' designs inside and out, pricing and how they drive. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. With the 2024 TX, Lexus has added a truly family-friendly three-row crossover to its lineup, unlike the RXL that it replaces. For one, it's better looking, applying updated Lexus styling cues more cohesively all around. The new spindle grille switches things up by integrating the grille into the bodywork, so it's one big body color piece, which might make it a bit off-putting at first, but it actually looks better in person. This grille is accented by sharp LED headlights and a silver trim piece tying the whole look together. The sides are clean, but at 203.1 inches long and 78.3 inches wide, it has a commanding presence, be it on the move or just parked. Out back, a massive LED light bar lines the rear end with the Lexus wordmark stretched across the trunk lid, and the lower portion of the bumper now features a two-tone finish and a small diffuser that's mostly there for looks. The Genesis design team, on the other hand, churns out one stunning product after another, and the GV80 is no exception, which makes it a true contender for the Lexus. The signature quad-line headlights use slightly softer shapes, making it stand in contrast to the TX's sharp ones. The side profile features a shoulder line that extends from the hood cut to the taillights, and a fillet of chrome breaks up the lower bodywork. Though size-wise, the GV80 is both shorter and lower than the Lexus, giving it a sporty look. The tailgate is clean with sharp lines and uses a gentler angle for the rear glass, splitting the difference between the traditional upright design of the GX and Lexus' RX's almost coupe-like appearance. The exhaust tips no longer poke out of the rear bumper, and a huge set of 22-inch wheels round out what is a handsome, distinctive design. Overall, both SUVs are very good looking in their own rights, so which one is better will come down to your personal tastes. Jumping inside, don't expect any drastic changes to Lexus' interior formula in the TX. Its steering wheel, gauge cluster, shift lever, and infotainment screen are all exactly the same as you'd find in other models. And even though the quality of the materials isn't at the level of the Genesis, it still feels as substantial as ever. The dashboard adopts a distinct two-tier design with a wraparound upper edge that seamlessly connects with the door panels. There is real aluminum around the vents and steering wheel, and even leather on the door panels in the same shade as the seats. As for infotainment, a 14-inch touchscreen is standard and sits in the middle of the dash or in the latest Lexus interface system. Rotary dials on either side handle climate duties, with a smaller dial below the screen for volume. The interface itself is easy to use, with a simple main menu operating much like a modern smartphone. Both wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are supported. As for Genesis, the GV80 interior is a classy joint, all soft-touch materials and clean flowing lines, the complete opposite of the TX's design. A wide, mostly unadored dashboard houses a massive new 27-inch OLED display right on top, and the two-spoke steering wheel is now replaced by a new three-spoke wheel that feels more at home than the previous one. The high center console and well-placed door panel armrests create a cozy front row, with abundant accent lighting creating two distinctive spaces for driver and passenger. A thin stripe of metallic trim hides the center and passenger side climate vents, under which lies a sloping HVAC panel that flows into the center console. As for infotainment, you will be happy to know that the massive landscape-style 27-inch screen is standard on all trims. The latest user interface is easy to understand, though the touchscreen might be hard to reach for some. Thankfully, there is a rotary knob to easily access the menus. It's now a short, raised cylinder of a dial, making it easy to use on the move. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard. Overall, both the quality and design of the GV80's interior is superior to that of the Lexus TX. As for passenger and cargo space, the front seats are good with ample side support, and it's easy to get comfortable behind the wheel, though the cushions might be on the short side. The second row is spacious too, but only the pure gas variant is offered with a second row bench seat and 7-passenger seating. The hybrid is a 6-seater with captain's chairs. The third row has lower cushions, but it's a fine enough space for 2 adults. Headroom is excellent in all 3 rows. As for cargo space, behind the third row you get 20.2 cubic feet, fold them flat and you have 57.4 cubes, With all the seats down, you get 97 cubes. The Genesis, on the other hand, is just as comfortable with nice cushy seats, and thanks to its long 116.3-inch wheelbase, there is more than enough room for both driver and front passenger. The second row slides and reclines a surprising 22 degrees, the most in the class, and offers one of the best legroom figures, though it's almost an inch short of the TX. The third row is available on a single trim in the US and is tolerable for adults, but they won't want to be back there for long trips. Cargo space is smaller than the TX across the board. You've got just 11.6 cubic feet behind the third row. Fold them or opt for the 5-seater and space grows to 35 cubes. Fold both down and you get 84 cubes. When it comes to pricing, the 2024 Lexus starts with a TX 350 trim at $55,050. As standard, you get seating for 7, a 14-inch touchscreen, and heated front seats. Next is premium at $58,450, and luxury at $60,950. If you want the hybrid 500h model, then it starts at $69,350. As for Genesis, the company has not forgotten how to offer its customers good value. The base standard model starts at $58,700 with a 2.5-liter engine and includes 19-inch alloy wheels and a 27-inch OLED screen. Advanced is $65,700, and the top prestige trim goes for $70,450. If you want the 3.5-liter V6 engine, then you add $8,000 to any of these trim levels. The 2025 Genesis GV80 offers all the panache of its competitors, but it still hasn't lost the value that made the brand name famous. While many competitors offer merely a Turbo 4 or a V6 engine, Lexus is offering a wide range of powertrain choices in the TX, including 2 hybrids. The base TX 350 has a 275 horsepower turbocharged 2.4-liter inline-4 that provides merely adequate grunt for a big vehicle like this. The front-wheel drive TX 350 gets a modest 0-60 time of 7.1 seconds, which is not a standout time for this class. Typical Lexus customers are going to mostly love the way the TX drives. It has that solid sure-footedness you'd expect from a Lexus, along with the same isolation from the outside world. Its suspension is well dampened even on the standard non-adjustable dampers, and it never feels floaty. Sure, it's entirely numb and it tries its best to make sure no noise or vibration annoys the passengers, but its chassis and suspension are good enough that it always feels confident even when you are pushing it hard. The hybrid TX 500h scoots the Lexus down the road nicely, with smart shifts that draw little attention, but it's also more expensive. The added stopping power of the upgraded 6-piston brakes is counteracted by a pedal with little feel, mind you. The adaptive suspension is a bit too soft and wiggly in normal mode, and too much low-speed fidgeting around in sport. In contrast, the Genesis GV80's powertrain is refined and masterfully executed. The base model features a turbocharged 2.5-liter inline-4 engine producing 300 horsepower, sufficient for most driving needs. The top trims, Advanced Plus and Prestige, can be optioned with a 375 horsepower 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6, paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, which achieves 0-60 in 5.3 seconds. Although competitors offer more powerful engines, Genesis sticks with its V6, which provides ample power for daily driving without being overwhelming. The GV80 excels in ride quality, absorbing road imperfections smoothly. However, its handling slightly falters in corners with minor oversteer if you drive aggressively. A standout feature of the GV80 is its impressive noise insulation, offering a serene cabin experience akin to that of a Mercedes Maybach, making it an attractive option for those prioritizing luxury and comfort over raw power. So, which one should you choose? Well, I think it's rather simple. If you value brand recognition and reliability, then the Lexus is the obvious choice here. But if all you want is luxury and comfort, then the GV80 is the one to go for.